Hey everybody, thanks for joining us here for your extended 9 news weather. We're still dealing with the cloud cover here in and around the Denver metro area. This is going to all dissipate though as we head over the course of the next few hours. So if you want some of those warmer, sunny temperatures like we saw last week, well, guess what? You're going to get it, but you got to wait a little bit longer. Still holding out some of that cloud cover along the front range and points east, southeast Colorado, still getting just enough moisture that we're seeing some of those clouds. And they've been pretty persistent throughout the day, but be patient here, folks. We'll get this on out of here probably in the next 2 to 3 hours for most of Colorado, and by tonight we'll be seeing clear starlit skies really throughout the state. In fact, you can see it here on the forecast. We're going to push those clouds off to the east into Kansas, Texas, Oklahoma, and that'll leave us just about really entirely here, folks, without much in the way of without much in the way of cloud cover. Meantime, current temperatures, a lot of 50s and 60s up and down that I-25 corridor. You head into the mountains. What the big difference is out here, this is obviously where we have the sunshine. We just haven't seen the clouds in the western slope into the San Juans. So that's why you're seeing those temperatures 70s, 80s, and even some low 90s. You get out by Cortez, you get in the San Juans. And unfortunately, we kind of wish it was the other way around, right? We really would like to see, if anything, the warmer temperatures out across eastern Colorado. That's where the drought is less prevalent. Western Colorado, that is where we are just so parched. You get really from kind of Vail Pass on east, Continental Divide on west, I should say, really kind of from here on west. You're just exceptionally dry. We have been for such a long time here. And unfortunately, not a whole lot in the way of rainfall for that parched part of the state in the future. 24-hour temperature change is a dramatic one. Southern Colorado, look at that for Colorado Springs and Pueblo and Trinidad. We're talking 30-plus degree temperature differential from this time yesterday to where we are now. Meantime, western Colorado, again, we're just in a totally different air mass, and that's why we have seen the temperatures drop a little bit, especially north of I-70, just not a whole lot. And unfortunately, that is also contributing to increased wildfire danger. We are looking at very low relative humidity levels. The lower that number is, generally speaking, the drier the air mass that we're looking at. And when we're talking about relative humidity between 6 and 11% combined with those exceptionally parched conditions like what we've been dealing with in western Colorado, that's a bad combination. And then we get those winds on up into the 35-mile-an-hour range. That's that kind of three-headed monster that we look for in terms of that increased fire danger. High temperatures, high winds, and low relative humidity levels. Those three things combined, that typically leads to increased fire danger, and that is what we are looking at over the course of the next few days. Probably for western Colorado, tomorrow will be the worst of it, and we should start to gradually improve those conditions by Wednesday and especially into Thursday. Meantime, tonight, temperatures 57 degrees for us here in Denver. South wind at 10 to 15 miles an hour. Should be a gorgeous night. You can leave the windows open. Sunset 8:31 p.m. I mentioned this on the noon that, by the way, today is tied for our longest day of the year. In fact, technically, it's less than 1 second shorter than yesterday, but you get the idea. Sad news is tomorrow we'll lose 4 seconds of daylight, and we'll lose daylight every day until the winter solstice on December the 21st. Cloud cover for tomorrow, a little bit for us in the mountains, but for tomorrow, really the story is we're very warm, we're very dry. We've got, I would say, at the most for us in Denver, 10% max chance for a shower or a thunderstorm. Could see a few dry storms pop on up here into the mountains. That's not good news. That produces lightning and not a lot of rain. That's something we're going to have to watch for. Meantime, the temperatures for tomorrow, 90s for us up and down that I-25 corridor. You head into eastern parts of our state, mid to upper 90s is just scorching for us once again. I'll step out of the way so you can take a look at those temperatures in southeast Colorado as well. Grand Junction again here, folks. Goodness, we just cannot get rid of these triple-digit temperatures, mid to upper 90s to low 100s. Again, we're right back at it. And Denver, this is similar to what we saw last week, maybe a tick cooler. I think Wednesday will be our hottest day of this week, but meantime tomorrow, still pretty hot. We're talking about low to mid 90s for many of us, upper 90s. You head up into northern Colorado, up by Greeley, and that 7-day forecast, it is a hot one for now, but take a look at the weekend. We will start to reintroduce a chance for some showers and some thunderstorms starting on Thursday, but I think in earnest, we're going to be talking about Friday, and I think at this point, Saturday looks to be the stormiest of the next few days. So you do have those outdoor plans on Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. Yeah, that's the day that we're going to be talking about that chance for some increased showers and storms. We do have that chance for Sunday as well, but if you're doing some early weekend planning and you can kind of adjust things a little bit and you want to have some dry weather outdoors, go with Sunday. Sunday looks at this point considerably drier with much lower rain chances than what we're expecting on your Saturday. Then early next week, and by the way, early indications next week here, folks, we're going to go right back to this heat and this very dry weather. We're going to get back up into the upper 80s and then back to your kind of regularly scheduled at this point mid to maybe not mid to upper 90s, but low to mid 90s looks pretty likely for next week once again. So we are talking about those very, very dry, very, very warm conditions continuing into next week, but we do have that chance for some showers and some thunderstorms this weekend. I'm going to take a few of those questions that you got here on our Facebook page. If you're joining us on Facebook, just drop in those questions below, and I'll try and get to as many of those as possible. By the way, thanks for joining us here. I really do appreciate all of you joining us out here. And yeah, we are talking about those temperatures that are going to be on the hot side, no doubt about that. So Jenny saying that. I know that Leanne is enjoying this weather today. I'm going to be honest about this too. I am loving this weather right now. It feels strange, right? Back in the spring, we were just begging for that sunshine after all those clouds and all those showers and even all that snow back in March and April. Now we're hoping for some more clouds. Now we're getting it. We're going to go right back to the sunshine. It's been a bit of a flip-flop last few months. Brandy saying thank you. Appreciate that. And looks like, yeah, it is perfect weather for getting outside and doing some gardening for today. It's, again, not that hot tomorrow. Again, if you've got that, want to do something in the garden, try and do it on the fringes of the day. Do it early in the morning or late in the evening. And if you are going to have to be outside for a prolonged period of time, especially middle of the day tomorrow, definitely take some frequent breaks. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water. And one other tip, by the way, this is something I kind of personally do all the time, is I always have a bottle of water next to me at all times, kind of refill just this big jug, 40-ounce jug of water I have. Just drink water even when you don't think you need it. Just a good way to make sure that you're always hydrated, especially when we're talking about temperatures like this. Julie Ann asking about weather in Pueblo on Saturday. Again, I think Saturday is going to be a tricky day here, folks. Saturday looks to me like, at this point, this could change. So, you know, don't throw eggs at me or anything if this does change. But I think come Saturday, we are going to be looking at this point, looks like some fairly widespread showers and thunderstorms. And by the way, Julianne asking specifically about Pueblo, I would say the chances actually go a little higher as you go south of Denver. We're going to get a little area low pressure that's going to spin its way, and it looks like it's going to target southern Colorado. Great news for a drought, potentially some great news for some needed rain for the San Luis Valley, the San Juans, but again, we would prefer it probably not to be on a weekend. So something to watch out for. So Julianne, again, if you can move those outdoor plans, if you've got those outdoor plans on Saturday, if you can, obviously if we're talking about a wedding or something, you can't do it, but you can move them over to Sunday, do it. That would be my early advice based on what we're seeing at this point. I'm looking for any other comments we got here at this point, and it looks like that is going to do it. So again, your overall forecast, cloudy and cool today. Tomorrow we go right back to the heat humidity, or I should say heat and humidity. I'm used to that, saying that, but back to the heat and dry weather. Then by the weekend, we get those showers and storms back in the picture. Thanks for joining us here on 9 News, and Kathy Sabin will have her forecast coming up at 4, 5, and 6.